So Mike, nearly 33 years, how the business has been running. Tell me where it all started.
Well, it started at 25 Broadway, Peterborough. Our first office, which was in central Peterborough in 1989, myself and Steve Quinney, of course. We set about obviously trying to be a little bit different, compared to other agents, and I suppose it was a good opportunity because the UK economy was in deep, dark recession. We heard the term for the very first time, negative equity, and two likely lads turn up and think they could sell one or two houses. I mean, for the record, we'd been in a estate agency previously, so it wasn't something like we just decided to do on a whim. So we were vastly experienced in terms of what the day job was all about. The one thing that we really wanted to do was also grow a business for the future, so recruiting and developing people. So we stockpiled a lot of staff once we started to get ahead of steam because we earmarked other parts of the area that we wanted to grow in. So our second branch opening actually then went to Market Deeping and Ramsey, Whittlesey, etc. So, most of these people, I think we quote 90% of people still to this day who join the business have little or no experience at all. So we employed what we called the attitude and the commitment of people who we felt fitted our core values. And the business started to evolve. We always had mortgage services at the heart of what we did, and as we still do now. And we combined expansion through further cold starts and also some acquisitions. We bought some businesses or branches off some other agents and rebranded those, and off we went, of course. And then significantly, we made a major decision to join the Connells Group, which was back in 2003, which someone might have said it was quite early in terms of our venture of being a new business, but we felt the time was right.
So how did you feel about making that decision, and I guess how do you feel about it now, looking back?
Obviously, it was, you're always going through, are we doing the right thing? But if you look at the rudimentals of what was happening out there, 2003 saw a serious change in the mortgage market where for anybody to be able to sell mortgages or practice in the mortgage world, they had to be regulated. And there was a huge amount of compliance costs that came with that process. So lots of businesses of our size were outsourcing that worry responsibility. We wanted to retain our mortgage consultants in-house, so they're completely dedicated, focused to us, and allowed them to provide a completely better service to the customer. We realised that we were probably going to be a little bit green in terms of bringing in the necessary compliance needs. So that was a factor. I suppose the real reason was that Connells Group banged on our door and said, have you ever thought about doing something with your business? They didn't buy our business in its entirety. Myself and Steve retained a shareholding, which I still retain to this day, which gave us the motivation and drive to grow the business. Obviously, Steve Quinney retired around about 6 years ago, and it allowed, obviously, those type of decisions that allowed Steve to have an exit plan as part of the arrangement that he had with the deal that we had all those years ago. So no regrets, and I look at it now. The thing that you have to respect about Connells Group is that it's a very entrepreneurial style business they run, so that fits with our mindset. Typically, the archetypal acquisition in the corporate world is they buy you, throw everybody out, and think they can do best, and go and ruin it a few years later. And we've seen plenty of examples of that. I think Connells cleverly were looking at from the outside, looking in, saying, that's not the way to do it. And they've got plenty of examples of other acquisitions in the group. But the thing that you have to respect and admire as well is that these guys are estate agents. They've all started on the shop floor like I did and worked their way up. So when you're sat in a board meeting and talking nitty-gritty, you're talking a language they understand and you understand. So, hats off to them.
So obviously you appointed myself as managing director at the start of the year. How have you felt about handing over some of the day-to-day running of the business? Big decision.
I've always been used to, being at the helm. But you've also got to look at, when we talk about succession planning, and we'll probably come on to that in a minute. And the obvious thing to me when we were going through that process, because you and I were heavily involved in that, those changes we brought in, was first of all you've got to look yourself in the mirror and say, okay, so I'm getting a wee bit older, and there will be a day when nothing lasts forever, as they say, and I won't always be here. So I have to look at the business before myself. So I think that's really important. I see too many businesses fail where the owners can't let go and can't keep up with the times. And I suppose it was the timing was right. You joined the business 5-6 years ago.
Yeah.
I quietly could see how you fitted with our principles and core values, and you were culture fit. You were very highly successful in taking our mortgage services business onto another level. So it was just an obvious choice for me. How do you feel about the day-to-day running of the business then?
Yeah, I mean, it's a huge responsibility, isn't it? I guess, listening to you there, talk passionately about the last 33 years, and I'm very proud that I'm the one that you chose to kind of take that on. But it's a big responsibility. I'm under no illusions, and I guess I've gone from having a smaller team in terms of the mortgage team that I look after to the well-being of everyone in the business now. So it's a lot of responsibility, but I'm really excited by it. And like you say, I've been here 5 or 6 years, and it's hard to explain, but I think the culture is just me. I think I felt very comfortable since I've been here. So overwhelmingly excited, I guess, is the main feeling.
How are you going to keep the business fresh? How are you going to keep it looking forward?
So I think we have the core values that I think you referenced, and for me, it's about I want to look at what we can do to enhance those core values. And I've noticed even in 6 months in the role that you get approached by a lot of technology companies in the industry, and and some of them are good, and some of them I'm not sure would actually enhance those core values that we have and the customer experience. So I guess it's trying to work out what do I think we can take from the technological advances in the industry that is going to support our business and move us forward. I think the people side of the business is something that I'm really passionate about, and I think we can do a lot more to support our people with their personal development, and coaching is something that I've kind of been brought up on through my career, I guess, and that's something that I really want to make sure we're outstanding at. We've got other areas of growth, which is probably better for you to answer on our lettings and new homes divisions.
You've obviously it's 6 months gone already, so it's been a very busy time for you. What significant changes have you made?
Well, I think the first big one is linked to people, as I've mentioned, is we now have a purpose-fit training director. So everybody that joins our business on day one is in a classroom, if I can call it that, with our training director. Obviously Jeremy Collis has been with the company nearly as long as you, not quite as long, but he knows the company inside out. He knows the industry and the business inside out. So he's perfectly positioned to train new people coming in. But actually, we wanted to put him in that role not just to support new people, but also our existing staff as well. So we're looking at programs for developing people with their careers with us, but also kind of regular training sessions to make sure people are sharing best practices, but also at the top of their game to again link back to our core values and deliver really good customer service. So I think that's been a key thing. We've developed our websites, so we've kind of brought those up to speed a bit, and the technology in the background has enabled us to again enhance customer experience with My Account that we brought in. So My Account being the customer portal where customers can be part of their entire journey throughout their transaction with us. So like I said, it's a mixture of people and technology, but making sure it's every time we make decisions, it's going to add value to the customer and the core values.
Very good.
So what do you see as the next steps for the business then?
Well, obviously, you've taken your new role on. I've taken my new role on. Sounds a bit grandiose, executive chairman, but I suppose it allows me to look at some of the things that you probably, when you're in the thick of it, as you now know, you sometimes simply don't get time to look at the strategic approach to the business. So I think it's very evident that we have opportunity for lettings growth. Again, mirroring what you just said, is making sure that we recruit the right people, develop, grow those people ready for expansion. We've committed to setting up our own land and new homes division, whatever you want to call it. We employed a new homes director last June, and very quickly he made a significant difference to the business by winning key accounts and acting on behalf of new homes developers. And sitting alongside that, which is an extension of the service for developers, is the employment of a land manager that joined in just literally a few months ago. So that is now going to be, I think, in a really great place for growing the opportunity to become a major new homes player. Some say we should have done that sooner, and probably a fair point, but we are where we are now, and it looks like very exciting times. The other thing as well is, we still want to grow the business in the traditional way. So those, what I've just explained to you there, are very much more what we call organic growth, but external growth around things like opening more branches, which will be a combination of cold starts. You know, again, it's that vicious circle: grow your people, gives opportunity to open cold starts, as well as acquisitions. So we've acquired some significant businesses in recent times, and we still have an appetite to continue to do that. Where do you see the business going next? What's the next steps for you, and in terms of your role in the overriding business?
Well, I think it links into what you said. So, you know, if we're and we clearly are growing the business in a number of ways, and like you said, we can only do that if we've got the right people. So you've got twofold for me. I think we've got a really good promote from within culture. So actually developing our current people, so when those new opportunities arise, you know, they can continue to build their career with us is really important. But also recruiting new talent. So we regularly hold recruitment events where people come along, and actually that's been really productive. And I think that combined with you know, the acquisitions, the land and new homes, the lettings growth, I think naturally we'll see some growth on our internal performance, and I just think it's a really exciting future for us.
Yeah, sounds very much like that. I suppose while I'm with you now, it gives me the opportunity to obviously wish you all the very best in your new role.
Thank you very much.
Pleasure.